Mic check. Mic chickity check. Chickity check. What up? What's up, y'all? Get these notes up. Cause I can't stop loving you. Loving you. Someday on. Alright. What's up? What's up? Let me keep that going. Alright. Quick little rant here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Crazy markets right now. It's fun. I don't know if you guys are on crypto Twitter, but hit me up. ICO Coup. That's me. That's me tweeting. I'll tweet back and forth with you. I ain't hiding with some avatar. This is who I am. This is who I am. All right. So recently I've been seeing a ton of articles referencing millennial interest in cryptocurrencies versus the stock market. So Bankrate did a study and they found that people between the ages of 18 and 39 are less likely to invest in the stock market than previous generations. Only 1 in 3 millennials are investing in the stock market compared to 51% of people of the following generation, 36 to 51. And 48% of baby boomers, 52 to 70. So this is really important to understand that there's a generational chasm. We just think differently. Check out this clip from Scott Galloway.
Amazon world. Cryptocurrencies crash by over 50% in a month. That's a pretty wimpy prediction, but it's likely going to happen in the first quarter. It will then rocket past $20,000 as crypto, specifically Bitcoin, has become a chaos proxy, and we are headed towards a constitutional crisis, which will confirm that millennials are smart to not have trust in their institutions or the Federal Reserve.
Okay, so apart from this prediction, the sentiment that millennials have towards Bitcoin is that of a safe haven long term. Okay, right now, of course, super volatile. We all get that. However, we are used to it and don't really look at it the same way that our parents look at their investments. Okay, not only that, we haven't invested enough in the stock market for us to really care if it crashes. I mean, if it does, we know our parents are going to be freaking out, but we don't have enough invested. We're all in debt. The millennial generation is in debt, and they're carrying heavy burdens of debt right now. We have to pay premiums on real estate. Prices have never been higher. We have to pay premiums on education. And then now we're supposed to invest in the peak of the stock market. Look at interest rates for the last 10 years, lowest ever. And the millennial generation, we still can't dig ourselves out of a hole. Now, I'm talking generally here. I remember my parents told me when they bought their house, how much they bought it for. And now it's worth 10 times the amount. And I'm sitting there like, what asset right now could potentially create that for myself and my family? Is my house right now, if I bought a house, is that going to go up 10x in the next 40 years? If I bought stocks, are they going to go up 10x in the next 5 to 10 years? I don't know. What about mutual funds? So there's really no clear path for millennial and younger generations to really see that they'll get the same kind of return that our parents got when they first bought a home. So we see that, though, however, with cryptocurrencies. Even the senators in that recent Senate hearing about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, blockchain, ICOs, even they were saying, if cryptocurrencies went over $1 trillion or $4 trillion, what Bitcoin would be technically valued at if it held on to its market share. I mean, that is a possibility for us to get that 10x that our parents got with their homes, but much, much faster. And so as you can see, actually, you know what? Take a look. Take a look at what he said.
I'd like to begin briefly with a slightly different perspective, and that is as a dad. I'm the father of 3 college-age children, a senior, a junior, and a freshman. During their high school years, we tried to interest them in financial markets. My wife and I set up small brokerage accounts with a few $100s that they could use to buy stocks. Yet other than my youngest son, who owns shares in a video game company, we haven't been able to pique their interest in the stock market. I guess they're not much different than most kids their age. Well, something changed in the last year. Suddenly, they were all talking about Bitcoin. They were asking me what I thought and should they buy it. One of their older cousins, who owns Bitcoin, was telling them about it, and they got all excited. And I imagine that maybe members of this committee may have had some similar experiences in your own families of late. It strikes me that we owe it to this new generation to respect their enthusiasm about virtual currencies with a thoughtful and balanced response, not a dismissive one. And yet we must crack down hard on those who try to abuse their enthusiasm with fraud and manipulation.
But I think we may be on top of something that is transformational. And I don't think you can separate the underlying distributed ledger or blockchain from some of these crypto assets. And if we had the same rate of increase that the next 2 years that we've had the last couple of years, we're talking now a couple $100 billion, we'd be at north of $20 trillion caught up in this area by 2020.
So how I'm putting this all together is that this is a generational realization that we don't want what they have, okay? And we don't want their portfolios. We have, like, have you ever heard your parents say, you tell them, I want to join a band. And they're like, well, I respect your enthusiasm. No, they want you back in school. They want you to go get a degree. They want you to get a job, work your way up, retire when you're, 65. And so what's different this time is that there's a brand new asset class. And by the way, when's the last time that a brand new asset class was introduced to the market? Like never, ever. I mean, last 20 years, what new real asset classes have been added? So what's different this time is that we have a brand new asset class that we, the millennial generation and younger, we're in early. And our parents are late because we adopt things faster than them. We are willing to try Snapchat and, Instagram and after school and all these we're willing to try. We've been conditioned to try new things and we like it and dislike it super fast. Whereas our parents, they're kind of slow adopters. And so we're early and our parents are late. And that's what's really going on here. So the transition is not going well. Taxes are going up, and here's what's happening to their investments. Taxes are going to be cutting into their traditional market gains that they have worked hard for the last 40 years. Inflation is going to eat up what they thought would carry them through their retirement. And, their homes, they're trying to sell it to the next generation, but we're sitting there going, well, we don't have as many kids. We don't need as much space. In fact, more and more millennials are actually renting. And so in the macro, we just define our lives differently. And so this wealth shift, from the millennials to the younger generation, it's not going well. It's not going well. And when you look at the fluctuations of Bitcoin, the stock market, people pulling out of ETFs, banks trying to block you from actually buying cryptocurrency assets. They're trying to stop us from investing in things that we believe, whether they agree with it or not, or whether or not it's a good idea. I'm not here to state that. I'm just trying to give a macro view of what I'm looking at. And the macro view long term is that this is what we want. And we'll go through the growing pains. We'll Try it, adopt it quickly, test it, complain about it, work it through. Plain and simple. That's what's going on. And so that's what I heard at the Senate committee meeting, where the CFTC chairman, Giancarlo, this is what he said, man. Respect their enthusiasm. They know we don't want what they have. And that's starting to click now, because we aren't even talking about stocks anymore. Like, I haven't looked at the stock market in a long time, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying it's not what people want. That statement right there, demand, is what you need to remember about this whole thing. And that's why in the long run, I know cryptocurrencies are really going to be integrated. Now, whether it's Bitcoin or some other coin, I don't know. I mean, I'm not here to guess anything. I'm just looking at the macro trend. And this is what I see. So I hope you guys are taking that into account when you make decisions and when you get emotional about the ups and the downs. I mean, if you're day trading, yeah, this is probably really stressful for you. But for the rest of us who aren't, and they're just looking for a place to carve out for the future, this is where it's at, and this is what millennials want, and the younger generation. This is definitely what they want. Hope you have a good day. Hit me up, ICO Coup, the ICO Coup on Twitter. Yeah, man, that's where I'm having the conversations. That's where I'm active, and of course on the YouTube channel. Share, subscribe, and I will see you guys again soon. All right, peace.